to begin, really. That's the thing. There's Joyce. Joyce, refrain from asking any questions today. Yeah. Keith, yeah. Make sure you turn your engine off. Jane. All right, if anyone has anything they want to talk about or nothing, just give me an idea. Yeah. You know, it like with the Zooms, can you hear me? With the Zooms, I need a primer in a sense. The live always just comes right out, but that
throw something out if you want.
Living, this isn't recognizing anything there. It's just a screen, so.
I can throw something out that Nick and I.
Throw me a softball. Throw me a softball. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I don't know if this is a softball or not, but just the sense of, I think maybe it's what you phrase sometimes about learning from others instead of focusing on trying to figure it out yourself. And what I mean is, like, since I've been more relaxed on so-called myself, I'll notice in others what I thought I would have noticed in me. So I was just wondering if that's what you meant by learning from others, as far as a relaxing of not trying to figure it out yourself. And then if something comes up about somebody else being, I don't know, irritated, and then I'll notice, oh, I guess I could have been all along trying not to be irritated, and now I'm noticing in somebody else what I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. But the idea of learning from others is just the person who hears that is going to give the meaning it has. Yeah. So in the talks, like here, we go from just going to a lot of different levels. Yeah. So sometimes you're speaking from the action figure little level, and then sometimes you're not. Yeah. And it goes in and out and stuff. So learning from others is obviously an activity that happens in the action figure world. Yes? Yes, Mike, or no?
Yep, I had to unmute myself.
Yeah, so so you're always you're coming from different places in every talk, and you're just putting stuff out there, and there's a feeling that there's a knowing of a meaning here, but I've realized that that doesn't translate. In other words, the meaning that I seem to have about something doesn't get translated to the other person usually. You can notice it when you've done a talk and stuff, and you have a feeling what you said, and then 5 people come up and they say, I really loved what you said, and then they tell you what they thought you said, and it had nothing to do what you thought it was meaning. Yeah. So basically, there's something else going on while we're doing these little gatherings. Don't get stuck on the words. They're just there's like 2 mail slots. Yeah. There's the mail slot of concept and language and word. And it seems like most people believe there's only that one mail slot, but there's another mail slot. So basically, we're trying to get through the first mail slot, not to the first mail slot, and get to the second mail slot, yeah? Which is, let's say in recovery, they would call it the innermost, or in the Course in Miracles, it would be the Holy Spirit, or whatever. You can give it a lot of names. None of them fit, but they imply something. They infer something. They hopefully have a feeling around them. So the message is just, it's like there's a gravitational pull here with time and separation and all this. And so there's like the booster rockets. So you put the real payload isn't the booster rockets. The words are used to get somewhere. They drop off, and hopefully there's an imagery occurs or a resonance, and then you get a feeling of a feeling of what it's like to learn from others. And that doesn't stay, oh, that's how it feels like to learn from others. It's just wherever you're at, there'll be a different meaning given to it. Yeah.
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 Um,
So, but the meaning isn't the important thing. It's the, like they say, a picture's worth more than 1,000 words. It sort of has that sentiment. Yeah. There's a knowing, hopefully in all of us, yeah, before wanting to know. There's already a knowing. It's already complete. It's already always available at all times, right where we are. There's nothing needed or lacking or needed to be added to. It's just there. It's always there. It's so there that we don't pick it up, so to speak. So we're attempting to, I don't know, go through the obscuring activities to hit that. So it would only take one time in a way, or no time really, for the Buddha to hear that it can't use itself to find itself. It may take thousands of times for Paul to hear you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. It's just gonna be, it's like a rough road to hoe, the second one, and the first one is quite whack, yeah? So, and if you have any sense of the immediacy of that which is, then you felt it. You felt when you heard something, it's like you already had heard it. Yeah, it didn't take any time. It was like a whack or like a lightning bolt. They try to infer the immediacy of something. Well, that immediacy is that which we are is before that immediacy. Yeah. So this is what and just get, when there's the flavor is there. Yeah, the flavors are all there. It's attempting to sort of break through that one who wants to taste the flavors, that one who wants to have more flavors, that one, all of that stuff. The message has never been, nor will there it ever be meant for that. That's meant to be observed from the message, yeah? That's not what gets the message. That gets observed from the message, yeah? You start seeing what you're not. Like we had it on Thursday with a lady, she won't mind me sharing, she came to one or two of the sessions. She had 30-something years in sobriety, and it was a rude awakening. She didn't see that selfing was thriving in the condition she was in. So her sense of hearing it was the aperture moved and more was revealed. Yeah, that's sort of what goes on. It's what's revealed is more of what you're not. Yeah, that's the whole point. How would what you are claim all of itself that is put into what it's not? By seeing it's not, yeah? So the thing, all of that would immediately be completely whole, and therefore when you have that sense, you realize there was never a separation. It never got lost, it never got forgotten, so it doesn't need to be remembered. All of that becomes crystal clear, yeah? But not from Paul's view. Paul's view is programmed. Paul's view is a dualistic view. Paul's format and programming is subject-objectness. Why would you waste any more time trying to convince what you're not about what it is? Just put yourself in a position to have a message delivered, and that message is to what you are about what you're not, and then just observe and sense and feel what happens. I spoke to a lady today. I haven't seen her in a while, because when I'm really successful in the delivery of the message, I don't see the people. So she called me like every year or two to say hello, and she's traveling later, and then she just expressed certain observations she had of traveling later. Yeah, the message gotten delivered, it got through the obscuring, it landed, and there you go. And then that landing in what you are reverberates into what you're not. It does. and then it provides what you're not wants the most, which is to travel lighter. Yeah, but it can't produce the traveling lighter. It can express it and it can observe it, but it can't. It's not the cause of traveling lighter, because it's really its desire to travel lighter is the heaviness. Yeah, and you just can't get out of that little Chinese thumb torture thing. It just can't. So the message has a specific target, and it's not you, really. Yeah. Like I heard, the first time I heard it was in LA, and there was a guy that was watching the door, and the guy came up after the meeting and said, you know, a lot of people which were basically complaining that everything I was saying was going over their head. And he says, what about that, Paul? And I said, well, that's where I'm shooting for. That's where I'm throwing it. I'm not throwing it to you. I've seen where that goes. I saw where it went here. I saw what this did with the message of non-duality. First, it tried to use it as an advantage. Then it realized, then it was going to try to become a non-self as a self. It did and I see many people go through the same thing. So there's no point. Yeah. This thing can't leave anything alone. It always makes something out of it. Yeah. And the dilemma in non-duality is really the gift of nothing, and it can't be made anything out of. Yeah. So the mental state gets bored very quickly with the idea of non-duality once it sees it's not working. My girlfriend didn't fall for, I'm not a Paul, so that's why I didn't do the dishes. You know, she didn't fall for that. People aren't buying my shtick. And so usually people lose interest in it, yeah? And that's the beauty of it, yeah? Because the beauty of it really usually is surrounded by a loss of interest from the point of what you're not. What you're not loses interest in it, yeah? And that's when it gets really, that's a great possibility, yeah? The dilemma we're running into with the satsangs is some people, there's no people, but they got a fucking good reservoir of fucking interest. You can't seem to kill it. But I know it's finite, and I know it's going to collapse, and there you are. Yeah, not to be found, not to be left, not to be had, not to be lost. It's just and what is it going to do to the action figure? I don't know. For me, it brought about an assurance that no one could have assured me of in this world, yeah? It brought about an acceptance for what I had been calling me. While I was calling it me, there was no acceptance of it. It was like an urban renewal project. I was constantly working on it, flagellating it for not being enough. Now there's just a field of acceptance, yeah? Because I'm not that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you for hitting my ball. And yeah, I will say that it came up in conversation with Nick because it was from the talking about not having to pick up anything, as the phrasing you used. Then it did seem to pop up a little bit as I'm like, oh, well, there it's being shown to me through other. So, but it came.
Yeah, you're going to learn.
Yeah.
When you have the eyes to see, you're going to learn all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. And let's see. We've got our friend that visits us from Grass Valley sometimes, Richard. He put up a question through chat, or not a question, but like a comment. I don't know. I'll read the chat. He said, "Hi, Mike. Here's another softball if needed." And then in quotes, "I should be having a better experience," unquote.
Yeah.
I should be having more clarity. I should be having more foreground awareness as examples.
You should, and why aren't you? See where that goes. Yeah, you should, and why aren't you?
Right. Just should yourself, right? Just keep shoulding. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we've got Kerry got his hand up. I unmuted you. Gary? Oh, I don't. going to unmute you again, Carrie. It's not unmuting. That's weird. I think we're overdoing each other. Okay, sorry. Try again. I won't touch anything. Not yet. Okay, good. Oh, no, not now. Now you're good. Nope, now you're muted. Okay, looks good.
No touchy, no touchy.
No touch.
All right, so, wow. You know, I'm in the program, and I don't know if we're talking more non-dual, whatever that is, or program stuff, but I'm just going to ask my question. So I'm always kind of battling with like my will, whatever that is, whatever makes me feel good, going after what I want, and then balancing that with what I think I should do, what I think is right. And so it's like, I want them to be the same. I want them to be the same. I want, you know, what I want to be the right thing. But sometimes I kind of go back and forth with that, and I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but if you could comment on, you know, what your will is. I mean, and then also, is there any way that anyone can make a mistake?
Well, both of the wills you described, I wouldn't say they're your will, they're self's will. Yeah. Yes?
Yeah, they're my will.
The self playing the policeman, the self playing the thief, yes? But they're both. So the self, in that case, so this idea of being whatever what's your name, Terry or whatever?
Terry.
That this action figure that has drives and this and that, there's a claiming of all of those activities as representative of some nebulous you that's framed as a self, yeah, a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. So when these drives are moving through, and some look like they're contrary to the other drives, the narrative keeps on spinning it to make fucking sense out of it, yeah? So right. Then they'll get to the very touchy one, God's will, and just see if the one that's so concerned with the will and getting what it wants or losing what it has, just see who's that. Yeah? And if it isn't you, you'll lose interest in all those activities. Yeah, you'll just lose interest in it, and maybe shit will come to you more often than not. Maybe this and that, who knows? But to start and live our lives from a certain robbery, just to me turns into slavery. Yeah, that's all. And so when I just saw a thing, what is it that gives everything all the meaning it has? Find out. An answer won't do. You have to have a sense-feltness around it. You have to, it's not so much hearing the message, you see the message also. Yeah. We're putting out information sort of like shoes in a shoe store, and you try them on, and if they fit, wear them. And then what happens is that triggers other possibilities, and there's no period, no end of paragraph. There's activity occurs, and the deck gets reshuffled. Yeah, things change, and you see very, very clearly the idea of you has nothing freaking to do with it. Yeah, has nothing to do with it. So it's put in its rightful place, and now the horse is in front of the cart, and then all the narration of the horse's direction and where it's going from the cart, you hear as if it's freaking distant. It doesn't have your ear anymore. Your interest and attention doesn't swear by it anymore. You've been freed from that bondage yourself, and now find out what it's like. And if there's an observation, maybe over time, or maybe in a split second, that observation then gets verified, you're onto something. So Now it becomes clear at one point. There's not always, I have to see what I'm not. It doesn't go that way. This is the easiest, softer, no way. You come to certain points, and then there's a critical mass, and then a conclusion occurs, and that's that. So, you know, as examples, the conclusion that I can't be out of a moment led me to see the insanity of trying so hard to get into the moment. And it never changed. Yeah. Now, maybe it wasn't crystallized, but then it was. And then once it's crystallized, it's a done deal, or it has been. So you see, I can't get into what I can't be out of. And then conversely, this idea of self, or what some people want to give it the name ego, that's not what I'm implying. I'm not implying an ego. I'm implying a sense of ownership, a sense of being the doer when doing is noticed. Yeah, all that. Yeah. So now this ideas, they get in, and certain things get convinced. And then you see, wait a minute, all these years I've been trying to get out of something that I'm not. So all these years, not all these years, after I left childhood, then it was about, I've got to get back in the moment, because obviously I'm out of the moment. That's the insanity, the out of the moment. And the same thing, I've got to get out of self because I'm definitely in it, but you're not in self. Yeah. There's some narration, there's activities, there's a thought system that's blaring up there that is assuming you're historically the doer, the feeler. It's not coming into a eureka moment. It's a dead claiming. It's dead. It's not having a eureka moment. I'm the doer. No, there's a belief system that you are definitely the doer. You were the doer, and you're gonna be the doer. You were the seer, and you're gonna be the seer. Yeah, there's no eureka in that. The eureka is from it. When you see it, then there's a eureka. Then there's like a real freaking breath with juice. Yeah, not this like mechanical short breathing, you know, constantly poised to feel a blow or evade a blow. And you're getting like tons of mental asteroids attacking your little planet of Paul all day. And you can't even enjoy a moment because you know there's going to be a frightful moment coming sooner or later. To me, this is, you know, enough is enough. Get to the causes and conditions. And if the causes of the conditions isn't a cause, there's freaking relief. And that relief isn't a conditional relief, it's an inherent relief. If the causes of the conditions, when you get to them, inform you, there is no cause of the conditions. Yeah. That's the getting out because you're not in. That's what I'm trying to share. Yeah. Okay. When you believe you're the cause of the conditions, there are going to be a lot more conditions. Yeah. Because you don't see that believing you're the cause is a fucking made up condition. It is.
So,
yeah.
So Paul, here's another example, a real life one. I've been married for 28 years, and I'm leaving the house in about 3 days, divorced after 28 years. So that's a lot of years as an action figure. And, you know, I guess I'll be traveling lighter for sure. But, you know, life happens still, right? To somebody, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No, life happens. And then there's the addition to somebody. Yeah. We're not seeing the little addition. There's a big pause. Life happens. And then there's a pause that we don't notice to somebody. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's the way it's set up. Yeah.
Yes. So life happens. It's used to infer that there's a somebody. Then the emphasis on life happens dims, and the emphasis on to the somebody gets amplified. I mean, seriously. Yeah. the effects here in this dreaming as an action figure, as someone who was married for 28 years and now is leaving a lifelong relationship, is one of the possibilities that occurs here. My observation of the effects of the message here was I've been able to travel lighter through the circumstances of the action figure's life. It didn't make every circumstance super great. The circumstances came as they came, but I've noticed over the years, I've traveled lighter through all of them, yeah? And some of the lightest is when they're really great, yeah? Traveling lighter because you don't get fixated. Everything just comes and goes and comes and goes and comes and goes. You can't produce that. You can express it and you can observe it. You can't produce it. If you could have, we would never have come to the idea of non-duality. Seriously. If it was working so well, non-duality would still be unearthed. It'd still be in the mind. It would still be, no one would give a damn because everything was working. Yeah. We've had such a plethora of failedness in this system that sooner or later, it finally, you know, your attention and interest is called to look at the system, not the particulars. And when there's a seeing of the system, you'll see exactly what it is and it ain't you. That's what will happen. You will see exactly what it is and it ain't you. Yeah. And therefore, the freedom is not through the system, as the system, for the system, by the system, but in a way from the system. Yeah.
Right.
You see,
So,
you may be in the system, but you're not of the system. Let's be merciful today.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and the ofness is what's going to bring a leavening agent to the inness. Yeah. We've tried freaking everything to travel lighter. We have tons of possessions, no possessions, you know, wearing robes in a fucking cave, shopping every day at Nordstrom's, whatever. People have tried it ad nauseum, constantly. They don't see, they're thinking they're like a closet that has to be filled. They don't see they're a doorway that things come through, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They're not a storage unit. They're not a growling stomach. They're a doorway. There's a threshold. There's possibilities. Yeah. But the selfing always looks out. Yeah. Always. And then when it turns in, what it turns into is an out. This is an out. Yeah. My friend Richard here is seeing this. As Huang Po says, whatever can be perceived, this cannot be perceiving. So therefore, when the mental state turns in, it turns in on an out, yeah? It thinks about an out all day. It's not reflecting on anything. It's everything's going out and coming back to out, yeah? The basis of this whole place, if you want to balance, it would be out, then in, out, in, yin, yang, inhalation, exhalation. The mental state doesn't do that. The mental state's out. Yeah.
Right.
And it shows. Just see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Shows.
What
Important.
How about feelings, Paul? Where do feelings play in this?
I don't know. They come and go. They produce an effect. They cause a tint on how you see things. Whatever. Yeah. Feelings. It's what I'm concerned with. I don't care about feelings. I'm concerned about the mind. Who's the one? The feelings are just like everything else happening here. They're fodder to be claimed to imply the feeler. That's where the bondage is. Yeah. And as the feeler, you want to feel great all the time. Yeah. Feelings don't feel great all the time. But as the feeler, you want them to feel great all the time. Yeah. How's it working?
I feel good.
So if you come to this talk, I don't care about that stuff. I want to see how those things are being used, because there's tons of meetings today on Zoom about feeling better, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
They
there
don't
is.
work.
All I can tell the people who are wanting to feel better, they're going to feel worse too. Sooner or later, the feeler can't get out of the river of duality. Yeah. It's going to be good, going to be bad, whatever. Contraction, expansion. That's how it goes. Yeah. I want to see, are these really my feelings? Yeah. Did I like type up what kind of feelings I was going to have today? All right. I wrote down 35 feelings. So far, I'm batting about 90%. I've had 30 feelings I wanted, 5 little ones I didn't want. You know what I mean?
Mm.
No, the feelings are feelings. They come and go. Yeah. The feeler is what's implying it stays. Yes. Yeah. That has a lot more oomph than the feelings. Yeah. So I like to go, hey, are these my feelings? And who the hell's asking that? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Paul.
don't think I've actually questioned about whatever. Yeah.
That's good. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Carrie. And Stephen is next. So, want me to unmute you? I'm unmuting you. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Paul.
That's a moment. That's a great moment in the world of Zoom, being unmuted. I've been unmuted.
So it's not really a question. There's a few things that have been swimming through my head since this meeting. But yeah, I just feel like since I felt that this message, like it really kind of soaked me up, and I feel it, you know, and it's like, yeah, it's like beyond thought. And when I actually like understood it, it took a while. I mean, I was listening to Zen Bitch Slap videos for like a good year and a half, and I just sobered up. And then I mean, I'm at that point, like you were just saying, like I don't need to watch these videos anymore. And that is the beautiful thing, because I've got the message, and I kind of come back for reminders, if anything. And it feels right to still like hear the message, and to kind of just like, it just clicks within a minute of listening to what we're talking about. But also, yeah, like I'm in this world, I'm human, and I feel these human, I feel this, but I also feel like, yeah, we're in this world, but we're not of it. And it's like, it's harder for us, you know, when we deal with these these situations in life. Like I was in the Philippines backpacking, and I got bit by a cat, and I had to go like get a rabies shot, and all these things outside of me, it was like it stressed me out, because I kind of had to like go out and like do these things. And but yeah, like I travel lighter. It's like this natural, this like effortless sense, like as just since I wake up. And also like I've had days where I've actually been so aware of the selfing going on, where something like I've been doing the course, and just like, not only that, but just kind of the state I'm in, I'm able to like just be so clear, and to see, like I had this day recently where I counted the negative thoughts I had, and I had 3 negative thoughts, and I was like, this is crazy. Because when I felt the energy of this, like these kind of negative thoughts, because in a sense, like I am affected, the action figure, I am affected by these thoughts, and it's like this energy that that I have, and I do get agitated, I do get restless sometimes, and I do get irritated, but it comes and goes. It's so quick. It's like the unreal. It's this appearance, and it's like it comes and it goes, and it's like what stays the same, and that's what I've learned. That's what I felt from you and from just hearing this, and I'm so happy to be involved and be part of it. So yeah.
Thanks.
Hope you're
Yes.
well.
Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Remember, just, feelings don't exclude us from what we are. Yeah. This idea that if I feel a certain way, I mustn't be in the vicinity of that which always is here. Yeah. That's all the mental. The mental state has puts up a lot of electrified fences with absolutely no electricity in them. Yeah. Yeah. You feel like you've done something and that excludes you. None of that happens. You're going through a tunnel, let's say, of time and different sensations. Yeah. And it's affecting, yes, it's hitting, it's making an impression. All that happens. There's just no one there. Yeah. Yeah, just like someone just wrote this thing, what's giving everything all the meaning it has? Find out. Yeah. See, an answer ain't gonna do it. And a question ain't gonna do it. Yeah. Because it's already so. Yeah. It's already so. If they could, you have felt like been in zones, yeah? When there's no time, seemingly, or the effects of time don't seem to be affecting, yeah? That's of us, yeah? That's of us. We're not a mechanical sensation called time, yeah? We're not of that, yeah? And you have it, and we all have had it, yeah? What happens is the quickness of the selfing implies a someone else that can be just a little bit off, yeah? It's just not exactly, it's off because it's taken a step in time to seem to have come out of the timelessness, but it never happened, yeah? Time is an appearance in what we are. It's not in conflict with what we are, yeah? It's a stream. It's a stream that never breaks the banks that hold it, yes? I don't see any other way. I don't think we need to point out to what we are. I think we need to point out to what we are, what we're not. It's just that simple. It's just that. It's like, I don't want to get to the D and E and F blocks. I want to see before this whole alphabet. Yeah. I've heard a lot of descriptions of what I am. Celestial being, love, whatever. It didn't do anything. I don't know why. I do know why now. It wasn't landing, yeah? It triggered something, but that triggering was seeking it, yeah? Wanting to acquire it with a deep belief it wasn't it, yeah? And so it immediately, hearing it from what I'm not, immediately triggered trying to get there, trying to find it, yes, just an engine just suddenly went on and just started taking off. Yeah, yeah. And then I come into other meetings and they're talking about all you are is consciousness, all this. Why would consciousness need to hear that? It is all there is. If I am all there is, which is consciousness, I don't have to hear that I'm consciousness. I am consciousness. What I have to hear is, hey, what I may not be, because I may be seemingly, right, falling into this belief that I'm not. And therefore, hearing about all I am is consciousness from there doesn't serve. It doesn't work. It's sort of like saying there is no body, but a body identification's hearing the message. It doesn't go anywhere. I've noticed it. I've seen it. Yeah. So someone can talk to me blue in the face, and if the what's receiving the message is a body identification, it has total immunity to getting the message that I'm not a body. It doesn't work because it's hearing it as a body. Yeah. Now you can believe that or not believe it. If you don't believe it, maybe you can hear it as a message. If not, you're going to experience it, because maybe you'll be driven to great lengths and you'll finally realize that I am the obscuring agent. In movement, in activity, in agitation, I'm the obscuring agent. So I can't do myself out of that. I can't think myself out of that. I have to see I'm not that. Yeah? Because if I try to use, like the old Zen statement, you can't use activity to produce stillness. That would be activity. Yeah? Whatever can be perceived can't be perceiving. Yes? You can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You can't use light to seek light. You can't use mind to seek mind. Why? Because you're Buddha, light, and mind. That's why. That's the only answer. Yeah? If you were anything else, you could use light. Yeah? You could use mind. You could use the Buddha. Yeah? But you can't, because you are the Buddha. Yeah? So the only way it seemingly makes sense, if I am taking myself not to be the Buddha, that I'm not taking myself to be the sought, so therefore there's lots of seeking. Yeah? But the seeking will also be used to lead you to you're the sought. So the seeker is the sought. Yeah. The old thing of, we used to use it for the book. It's a famous mantra, and I changed it. I was doing a talk in Philly, and it was on this yoga studio wall, and she had translated it, and it's the famous thing, gati, gati, gati. But the way it was, all right, gone, 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 to the other shore. Yeah. Upon arriving, on having never left. I mean, really. Is that like Egyptian hieroglyphics? No, it's obvious. Yeah. Gone. So what would happen if gone, gone, gone to the other shore? Now the gone, gone, gone is based that you're on another shore already. Yeah. And you want to arrive at the new other shore with the hopes that it's going to be better than the other shore you seem to be. So gone, gone, gone to the other shore. Wow. Upon arriving, which probably took no time whatsoever, there's a realizing you never left. What? Yeah. Does the realization isn't you've arrived. Even when you arrive, the realization is you never left. Yeah. That which we're trying to arrive at, there will be a realization when you arrive, and the realization won't be, I've arrived. The realization will be, you never left. Yeah. So maybe you can cut out one or two gones, and then maybe, hey, it's okay, this other shore. And maybe you'll let someone else have the raft, and the other person will take the raft, and they'll have the same experience, and they'll leave the raft for another person, and on and on and on. But does that raft ever arrive at another shore? No. It fails us. Yeah. That's its success. That's its value. It fails us. I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to arrive. Hallelujah. Right around the corner from that is, I never left. But a lot of people just stop, and they're fascinated by seeing their reflection. I'm never going to get it. If you could walk through the reflection, it would hit you. I've never left. Yeah? See, people, they get some of it, but they're not allowing the last part, which is the joy. Hey, I'm on having never left. It's a drag. I'm never going to get it. It sucks, really, from that which wants to get it. But if it can go a little farther, on having never left is great. I had this thing I did in Australia years ago. It was like a therapeutic type retreat. And they'd have these cathartic events. They sort of could manufacture them. They have all these people with all these mattresses and music, and everyone was having cathartic events. Yeah. And so one of my big cathartic events was, oh, I can never get back. And so I was crying, you know, like I left nirvana or I left heaven, and I realized I can never get back. And I was weeping and crying, pulling my hair out. I can never get back. And then in hindsight, years later, because I never left, that's why I can't get back. I never left. I got the first part, I can never get back, but I hadn't gotten the second part because I never left. But getting the first part in the spiritual circles I was in at the time was fucking great. I was the big talk of the whole event. Getting the answer, fuck them. Yeah, on having never left. Yeah, all the uniqueness just drains right out. Yeah. Can you imagine? I swear. I felt it. I felt it. It was like glorious, rich sadness pouring out. I can never get back. I can never get back. But it was a fact. It was just, the fact was totally there and I didn't see it. Yeah, yeah, knucklehead, because you never left. That's why you can't get back. See? It doesn't end when you get, I can't get it. It doesn't end there. Yeah. Because right there is the timelessness of having never left. Yeah. Right there. And then when you see that, it's always, always, forever there. Yeah. What happens a lot with, I'll never get back, and then you just try tons of vehicles to get back. Yeah, Sufism, Buddhism, Kabbalahism. It doesn't get through to the programming. It does. It believes it can get out of self. It believes it can get back, but you can't get back to a place you never left. Mm-hmm. That's the message to me of non-duality. That which you look, that which you're using to look is what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Someone else, Mike, someone has a hand up. I think it's my friend Mike.
Yep.
The laying monk, yes.
I unmuted him.
Hey guys. So, hey, Paul, it seems like, well, what's happening is things are still landing here and there, but it's really, really, really subtle. Really subtle. So it seems like there's like kind of a deepening, like more of who I really am available. You know, but so is that, can you speak on that?
I'd say that's good signs. Better left alone.
Yeah. Is that your experience?
Those are observations. So you're observing stuff that's happening far out. Yeah. And hopefully when you observe it, it informs you. You have nothing to do with it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that your experience too? Is that still happening for you?
Well, it may be, but my interest lasts for like, all interest about 9 a.m. this morning and before is gone. Yeah, it basically just stays in this little segment.
You say, yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel the need to write blogs about every time something lands, and have to go. It happens, and then just
Yeah,
life goes on.
it's awesome, man. I mean, somebody was saying it's amazing, but in fact, it's really not amazing. It's just how it plays out. Yeah, I mean, you're onto something, and being onto something that's really, well, it's nothing, but it's there. Then there's effects here, and the effects don't have expiration dates and return policies and all right, you're going to have to pay more each month or whatever. There's effects that are very like there's no dues, you know. You don't have to keep upping a subscription. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just I mean, to be able to enjoy peace of mind is unbelievable. It's freaking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And yet this stuff becomes very, very ordinary when the mental state loses interest in it, because the mental state really, it's all about it. So it doesn't have any interest in being unless it can become it. Yeah. It will sacrifice and try really hard to become something. And maybe that's fine and dandy, but when applied to what you are, it doesn't work. You can't become what you are. It's already taken some space up. You are that. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, when they have workouts, you start working out, the muscles respond, and then you have to keep increasing the workout. Blah, 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 blah. And if you don't, it's not going to work, you know, unless no pain, no gain, this and that. That's not applicable to this. And it's not about sacrifice or losing or giving up. It doesn't have to be anything about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all made up in the other camp, you know, in the mental activity. It makes up yes, I'm going to have to give something up for the, you know, it's always like, can you imagine if there was a statement by Ramana saying the greatest mystery is reality wanting to attain reality. So if you follow that, and all right, so you're in a position where you're attempting to attain reality. Yeah, I'm seeking to attain reality. Okay, so I'm seeking to attain reality, but reality seems to keep being evasive. Doesn't stabilize, And sooner or later, there's a conclusion that you may not want to know, but you know, and that is you're the obscuring factor. Yeah, you. It's because of you, reality isn't dawning. All right, so now you've gotten to the end game. So the action figure, the mental state, wants to attain reality, but in its logic, to attain reality, I have to be destroyed. It isn't going to rush up to the gates of reality. Yeah. It's going to drag its feet as long as possible, because its idea is for me to be, I have to be totally, totally extinguished completely for me to attain reality. Well,
It changes its game plan. It's like, well, let's try something else.
No one's rushing too much. And then the systems that support that, it may take lifetimes. The mental state, woo, all right.
Yeah.
Fucking donate lifetimes. Because there's an incredible cognitive dissonance, meaning for me to be free, I've got to be completely extinguished. Hey, I'm not, you know, that's not going to go over well to the system.
No, it looks for something else to do. Let's try this, then let's go over here.
Yeah, it's really maybe more of a delaying pattern than an acquiring, attaining pattern, really.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, the best part about this message is that it doesn't matter that the action figure doesn't understand it, because I didn't understand anything you were saying, yet shit happened.
Yeah, it doesn't, because we're not looking for the mental state to be the reader of the letter. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the letter within the letter. So the mental state gets the first letter, sees it's nothing, throws it on the floor, and then mind comes and gets the message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mental state there's nothing, and then mind. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out something that it can't figure out. That's what
Yeah.
it does. That's what
Yeah,
it does.
I know. It's mechanical. What can you do?
Yeah.
It's something severely limited that thinks it has the potential to be unlimited.
Right.
Which causes
Right.
great agitation in the everyday experience of being limited. It gets really freaking pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the last thing that's going to tell the truth about itself. It is. You have to hear about it and see it from somewhere else. Yeah.
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 Well, you said it before. It's all taken care of. It's like, no worries. It's being taken care of. It's being done. So.
Yeah, sure. Can you imagine if like I got hit by a car seemingly twice in one night? Now, can you imagine if I was worrying every night about getting hit by a car until that moment? I never did. I didn't even know I got hit by the car. It just happened, and they told me later. So I saved years of the fear of getting hit by a car, and I was just there to get hit by the car. In a way, it was a much better way to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's quite a feat.
yeah, why not just, yeah. If something's allowing you to travel lighter, you've observed it, because we're not 2 levels below coconut. We are here, and then just, yeah, why? I don't see, oh, well, this isn't enough. To me, that doesn't provoke like a call to arms. It's a disarming message, yeah? You just realize the futility of trying to get it as what you're not. I mean, completely, yeah? And then there's no trying to get it, and then there's and then you don't even get oh, I got it. No, that which is trying to get it never gets the great feeling of I got it. Never. It never gets that. It's just is put in its rightful place. That's all. Yeah. And what is just doing what it's doing.
Yeah. Very simple.
Yeah, yeah. So, I could come here today and, I've had this opportunity to share a lot over the years. And before, let's say an hour before a lot of those sharings, a lot of shit may have been happening in this life. Yeah. Like tons of shit. And yet every time I put myself or I came to the seat and there was people there, something came through every freaking time. And it was obvious after observing it for a while, it had no considerations about my consideration. It had what I thought was a block to it wasn't seen as a block from it. Yeah, it used me no matter what supposing condition I was in that given day or night, every freaking time. So obviously certain conclusions occurred, and I saw I have nothing to do with it. That's the great news. Yeah.
And when that happens, it's like you don't even know what you said because you weren't really there.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the empty experiences of my life. Seriously.
Yeah.
It is. I don't get nothing out of it. It's just sort of, it's just like a conscious blackout if you're an addict and alcoholic.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like but there's a conscious blackout. There's something there, but that which I'm not is blacked out. It's sort of cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
There's somebody that asked to ask a question by chat. Thanks, guys, for the unamazing. Her name's Roxanne. I'm unmuting her now.
Roxanne, yes.
Yeah,
Where is Roxanne?
I'm here.
I'm trying to find you. There you are.
Got me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This body of mine, sorry, my English, my French gets in the face. Frederick Ataksha. it's a form of disease that degenerates all the muscles, the nervous system, but doesn't touch the brain like what I think for. So it's more, I found out that, but you already answered that with Mike. Um, in fact, there's no question. It's just there. It's sometimes the me has a feeling that it's back there, more, more often because I gotta think when I eat, so I don't,
Yeah.
I don't punch my mouth. I gotta think of everything. So it brings me so much in the mind often that sometimes what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with this. It's just that it seems that I'm going backwards sometimes. I just wanted to share that
Yes.
because it's sad that the way people see. Because I'm sober for 34 years, 40 years, and they think you're drunk all the time when you're out there. So,
Hey, Roxanne, I want to share something with you. I think you've affect a lot of people through your Facebook and everything.
yeah,
Very, very beautifully. And probably some of the most touching. I'm not a person who goes to Facebook much, but how you present stuff is quite beautiful. And I want to thank you because it's a very, it's like a clear drop of water, yeah, that you can recognize it in the.
when I share it, I'm in it,
Yeah.
I'm living it. So
And
that's
it's just the body. There's the body's the body. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know,
remember,
but it's so present.
Yeah. When I got run over by the car,
Yeah,
my leg looks very strange. Like I wouldn't, if I was a ballerina, a ballet guy, they would stop the show because it looks like I have a weird thing in the lower leg. My whole leg bows, and it's just a weird looking thing. And I can make up stories that I got bit by a shark or something because it looks like it. Yeah. So, but you're not of that, eh? You're not of that, and so, yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne. Yes, thank you. Very happy to see you.
Me too.
Nice to meet you, Roxanne. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Jeffrey has his hand up.
There's Barbara and Roman over there. I see them. Don't get up, Barbara. Chill out. You get the message much better when you're reclining. You don't want to activate that head. No. Jeffrey?
Yeah, Paul, what's up, man? These meetings are amazing, as you have been told, I'm sure, but I'll let you know again. And the question though that has stumped me, or not just the thought pattern, is about the dreamer and the dreamt. I don't understand what you're talking about. Are you talking about daydreaming, like I'm dreaming to become a rock star, or are you talking about when you go to bed and you get into dreams? I'm completely lost on that. Can you explain that?
Right.
That's my question. Thank you.
Well, it comes from it references an idea in the Course in Miracles, if you ever heard of that, and a lot of others, but the one that I was connected with was the Course in Miracles. So, and they use the word dream or dreaming. To me, I use the word dreaming. So this whole thing, or as Ramana would say, this is the wakeful dream, yeah? So you're awake, but this is dreaming, yeah? It's not like, it's just like the one at night, but there is, in this one, there isn't waking up like in the day from it, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah?
Yes.
So that's the dreaming. So the
Just
dreaming,
consciousness, like consciousness is basically.
no, it's the appearance or the manifestation. What can be perceived, yes? All of that which can be perceived, can be thought of, can be this and that, is dreaming.
Oh, okay.
So it's not real, but it's appearing to be real. Yeah, but it's appearing to be real to the dreaming, but as the dreamt, you see, the dreamt. So the dreamt is the action figure.
Oh, okay.
Right? So the dreamt, right?
Right.
The dreamt perceives the dreaming as if it's real because it's perceiving from the dreamt as if it's real. Yeah?
Correct. Yeah, the dreamt thinks it's real. The action figure.
The whole thing in a way wasn't to don't waste time trying to see the unreality of all the dreaming, but maybe just see the unreality of the dreamt. It's a quicker way in a way. Yeah?
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah. So when you see the dreamt as unreal, let's say, then that the idea of dreaming is a very nice, a very very clear way of describing what's happening. Yeah. Yes. When you see that the dreamt is unreal, then you really get a clarity of that this is dreaming. Yeah, it's dreaming. Yeah, so it's appearing to be so, but it isn't so. Yeah, so the dreaming and the dreamt is like the action figure. Yeah, the dreamt is what can be perceived. This can be perceived. I can't perceive the dreaming, can I? The act of dreaming I can't see. I can see the dreamt. Yeah, I can see trees, chairs, this video thing, whatever. But I can't see what's dreaming. Well, I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm looking for acknowledgement, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So that's why I used to say yeah a lot, because I'm waiting to see if anyone's following me, then I'll go to the next point. So the dreaming and the dreamt, you can see it in one way on lesson 2 of the Course in Miracles. It says, you and I are giving everything all the meaning it has. That would be dreaming, right? Yep. In other words, in a real place, the reality of things would be loud, so to speak. But basically, everything is empty, and all they are a depository or a reflection of meaning I'm giving. Yes? Yeah.
Okay, but then who's the third who you really are? You know what I mean? Like in your normal
who you really are.
There's no other third thing?
It's just what really is. Yeah. There isn't like the dreaming, like it's Mr. Dreaming. Yeah. It's just dreaming. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. And I don't have any interest in it. I just observe that things come and go, that things get their sense of reality by the effect they can produce in me, maybe. But like getting run over by a car has had the most influence on my body every day than anything else. Yeah. I mean, yet, did that happen? No, it appeared to have happened, but did it happen? I don't believe it, because I don't believe anything ever happened, really. But that's just a belief. It's just a recognition that brought about a conclusion, yeah? And that conclusion seems pretty solid, so I rest. I don't have to go into it that much, yeah? And it hasn't been disputed by much of what I've observed or seen other people express, so I'm sticking with it. So the dreaming and the dreamt comes from the Course in Miracles. Yeah.
Well,
And I've
fortunately,
also seen, though, see, when the dreamt tries to figure out that it's the dreaming, doesn't go anywhere for me. Yeah. Because it suddenly, it takes the dreaming and it frames it in its belief that this is real. And then it starts thinking, you know, so I'm the dreaming as the dreamt. I should have 50 Cadillacs, always have orgasms, never a bad joint, everything, you know. And then you're really confused when it doesn't go your way. I mean, maybe you're getting everything you ever wanted right now. Who knows? Yeah, this may be it. How could it be? It's not what I would do. Yeah, exactly.
I just had M&Ms, which were pretty good, but
Yeah.
I'm sure my friend Paul. You met
So
him.
there you go. Yeah.
can't
So
see
the
me.
dreaming and the dreamt comes from when I was introduced to the Course and I read some of it, and actually I read it with people and stuff. It was just hilarious to me, to tell you the truth. And I think the best effects I've had here are laughing, you know, a lot of laughing, because it's in a way it's so obvious, it's amazing we could miss it. Yeah, but whatever. I'd probably be out of work if there wasn't people believing they missed it. I'd have to be a landscaper or something. I don't know. But I'm sure I'd find something out. Yeah. All right, next one. Yeah.
Lee is next.
Lee, I know you're going to tell me how great everything is.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, Paul. Good to
Hey.
see you. Well, I know the last couple times I asked you questions, you told me I was fine, and it made it seem like I didn't need to ask any questions. So I'm really here because you're more entertaining than watching Netflix. And
Yes.
it's also just enjoyable, this whole community of people, hearing people ask questions and sharing. It really is just an enjoyable activity.
Yeah. I like these all the people in the squares. Yeah.
But you mentioned a moment ago the word futility, and I realized that all those years, 5 or 6 years, whatever it was, that I was.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Now I'll forget what I was going to say.
Oh, good. All these.
The last 5 or 6 years, whatever it is, that I was inadvertently reinforcing what I'm not, making all the mistakes that you warn against, is something that seemingly needed to happen just to finally realize the futility of all of it, that there's nothing I can do except realize, as you say, I'm not the doer.
Well, you don't have to realize that either. It already knows it's not the doer. But yeah. The futilities are more than enough, really. Just to realize that the system can't get out of itself, really. Yeah. It's not like it hasn't fallen upon the right equation. As long as it's in the equation, it's not going to work. So, and then when that hits you, it bears itself out. When you look at your life, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see exactly the futility of it. It's not like it snuck up on me. There's tons of evidence for every one of us sitting in these squares. Yeah, but there's something that claims to be the one who's getting the message that averts its eyes from the obvious information. It does, yeah? Because it can't, it feels like if it stops, it's the end of it, yeah? It's gotta keep keeping on, yeah?
Yeah.
So really, it's not like we're trying to acquire any more evidence. I mean, the case is an airtight case. It's, I mean, really, how can you get out of what you're not in? It's just impossible, And how can you get into what you're not out of? It's just that simple. You may not agree with it. Well, that's fine. Fight away, argue away, debate away, question away. But it doesn't change anything, yeah? You are what you're looking for. If you're not, then non-duality isn't for you, really. Yeah, because that's its whole premise in a way. You are what you're looking for. So like, chill out, let's so say, yeah? And then if it doesn't chill out, it's gonna lead for another realization, yeah? Because it's gonna end. This thing can't keep huffing and puffing with no houses to blow down, really? Sooner or later, the huffing and puffing will blow down the imaginary you. It will, yeah? It will.
When? No,
Don't underestimate the spiritual subpoena. Don't underestimate the message. Don't underestimate the message because you think it's coming from a certain messenger. This message has oomph. I've always felt it. Every speaking engagement, the energy in the room wasn't me, wasn't you. It was this. Yes. Was this. I have faith in it. It's obvious. So, and it doesn't matter how, because this is gonna allow a traveling lighter, which was the secondary drive, which is actually, as the action figure, the paramount drive is to feel better. Yeah, you're gonna, as a byproduct, that's gonna happen too. Yeah, you may have to go through some phases, but basically, once the wiring is redone and you can take 220 wiring instead of 110, yeah, there'll be qualities that weren't available, which is enjoying peace of mind, knowing the word serenity, understanding peace, all this stuff. You'll see these effects, yeah? And they're not arduous, they're not produced by effort or thought. Yeah, they're latently available. They're always available at all times. There's nothing that you acquired that wasn't there to begin with. Yeah. In Dzogchen, Tibetan Buddhism, Dzogchen, the Great Perfection, it's sort of like the non-duality there. They have a statement of relaxed awareness, all that. That's what it's like in a way. If you're not the seeker, then the seeking that used to always shoot, tunnel vision, fucking concentrated, purposeful, it goes to panoramic setting. It does. It just bounces into panoramic setting. Yeah. And you're seeing a whole lot more by not looking for anything. Yeah, you're seeing a whole lot more by not looking for anything. I can see you, Lee, better maybe, because I'm watching you for years. A tension in your face has left, which is nice. Yeah. So you're on to something and you're in good hands and you can't fuck anything up. Literally. Yeah. You can't. You can make it seem like it's so, but you can never make it so. Everything, all of these things are going to be washed away when the time of your little action figure ends. Yeah. And it will be like nothing ever freaking happened, really. Because nothing ever did happen. You are the only happening. Yeah. You are the dreaming. Not the dreamt, but the dreaming. And you are what's dreaming. So maybe out of the great stillness of what you are, the manifestation is the dreaming. And the dreaming is of energy. And energy can't be created nor destroyed, but it can be reconfigured. You can see things differently, yes? Things can change, yes? While you're trucking around as an action figure. Yeah, you're not as confused as you were before. Now maybe you're hearing the message, hearing it, feeling it while you're hearing the message, yeah? Like someone shared earlier. Maybe it takes a minute. You put on a satsang memo, you get the sense, right? Like that, yeah? That's huge in a way. Where you heard hundreds of hours, nothing made any sense. Now you hear 30 seconds and it makes a lot of sense, yeah? Far out. All right, Lee, you're fine.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone else too.
Thank you, Lee. Daniel has his hand up. I'm muting him now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Hi. Is that important for you to see me?
No,
Because
I see more than enough. What are you
okay.
Are you working a mine right now?
No, no. I'm in the mountains. I'm in the south of France.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It's well, it's night in here, and I only got 2 lights. Yeah. Yeah, it sort of became my lifestyle. I sort of started living on the road, and well, I understand that thanking you is like basically when standing in the river, and I'm thanking you for water. But as a figure of speech.
Yeah.
Thank you anyway.
Thank you, Daniel.
Because yeah, it's like, and it's mostly like I had a question when I raised the hand and I already forgot it, but it's not really a problem for me.
There you go. That's good.
But they mostly directed maybe to people who are listening to you. It does work. It does. What you're doing, it's like, money. That's like fun fact. I never drank in my life, ever. I tried learning in London because it's like very sociable in there, and it just puts me to sleep, so I never done. And out of all the yogas and all the retreats and all the things, it's your thing that did it for me. And I even downloaded the big book of recovery.
Yeah.
And it's massive. Seriously, it's just I don't know, it's great. It's like, I don't know, it's just you see. But what happened here as a story, obviously is a story in the past in my head, we understand that. It's just that Poopa Scooper story.
Yes, everyone loves the Poopa Scoopa story.
Insane. We were just stretching in Spain after climbing, and somehow everything was like nice. We relaxed. That probably the mental state just let its guard down, and it followed the story. And I remember that moment. And I had like a girl in front of me, and she like did about 5 retreats in Thailand. She's very clued up in yoga and meditation, you know. And she saw me, and she said, "I saw your face." And the face, you should see my life after that moment. It's
Great.
like the end of that story when the guy built his whole life around something, completely forgot what it was. He's a successful guy now. He's got a business. He's got people respecting him. Everything is like perfect. And the guy says, "Listen, I've got a solution for your problem." And I remember those words. What problem? I'm doing well. And that, yeah. And after that, it's like, because it's really magical, because it's like sort of unraveling now. So things you used to meditate for hours for, you just see them. They just natural expressions just fall off. Things, it's insane. Like mindfulness, like people got courses on that. And today you make a cup of tea outside by the river. It's the best moment of your life. And it's like, seriously, it's nothing you would do rather than that. And every moment becomes like this. And somebody I asked me like today, like, are you waiting for the end of the lockdown? And I was like, no, I stopped waiting for things. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somehow in here it's associated with you and your podcast like for years, you know. So I don't really have a question since it's all good. But I, don't know, I just want, yeah, I just wanted to somehow to, you know, to thank you. Yeah, well, that's it.
Daniel, I want to say something with you. If I was going to send anyone to the mountain to see someone, it would be Daniel on the mountain. Yes. Thank you very much for that sharing. I really appreciate it. Yes. It's
Oh,
nice.
my pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's self-explanatory. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like, yeah.
Very
Definitely.
great.
And surfing, like when people try, seriously, I don't know, I'm saying you can do anything. You can start seeing, I think, through, that was this story, Ramdas said it, that it was talking about this stuff. And there was a lady and in the first row, and he literally saw that the lady was getting everything. She was really in the zone. And he came to her and he was really curious and said, you really like, I feel like you understand my message. How did you get there? And the lady said, I crochet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like surfing is better than anything else, but in terms of feeling that you don't control much,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Yes. Hey, Daniel, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah,
safe.
my pleasure.
Stay in touch. Yeah. Appreciate
Yeah.
it a lot. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
Thanks, Daniel.
How long? What time is it?
3 o'clock.
3?
You have a hand up from iPad. Is that yours?
No.
Somebody else?
Let's take one. Let's take another question. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, I see. It's iPad. Yeah. It's Emad.
Okay. I muted him or her.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Paul. My name's Andy. I wrote the song that you.
Andy. Cool.
You helped me with the lyrics for that song. I just wanted to introduce myself and say thank you so much for everything. That's all.
Oh, thanks, Andy. And we'll tell them that we're going to be. It's on the website now. One of our members, to everybody, wrote us a very nice song that uses some of the language from the Zen Bitch Slap. So I think it's on the website. So
it's
he was the channel for it.
It's the featured video, you know, like that you didn't have one before. It's the one that stays there when you go to the homepage. So
very nice song. Thanks.
Nice
speech.
Same here.
All right, one more then, if you like, and then that's it.
I don't see any other.
Figure out it can only take an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's yeah.
Anybody else for Burning Desire? Jonathan Reagan, I guess does. I'm unmuting Jonathan now. Oops. Okay, go ahead, Jonathan.
Hey, can you see me?
No, but it's all right. I can hear you. I'm gonna try to find you. Go ahead.
Paul, it's an old friend. Just wanted to say hello and say thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. You got me started on this journey maybe 15 years ago in San Francisco. Do you remember me?
Yeah, I gotta catch you.
But just wanted to say hello. It's been a long time since I've seen you. This Zoom thing is great. I can't believe how wonderful it is to see your face again on video.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Jonathan. Oh, John. Yes, one of my favorite people.
An early disciple. Yeah.
An early disciple, but you're a lifetime member of Zen Bitch Slap.
Lifetime member. You'll see me more now that you're doing these Zoom things. This is great. I'm very excited.
I do an AA stuff too on Tuesdays and Thursdays. morning
Okay.
at 10:30 California time. It's all on the website.
All right, I'll check it out.
And I do another one of these Wednesday night, 7:30 California time. 7, I mean, now. Are you in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm still in Boston. Yeah.
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 Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey,
Still-
you still have my number?
Yeah. Yeah.
Give
I
me
think
a
I
call.
think so.
Questions that are more personal later.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd love to connect with you. And
Well, there's one thing we used to say in recovery. What are some of the results of recovery that you have the same phone number for quite a while?
I still have the 415 phone number. Still have the 415 area code.
It never changed. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
So, things are
It's
good.
great
Just want to say hello.
Yeah, it was great to see you. Yeah, that was the glory days of Zen Bitch Slap.
I know. I remember it clearly. I mean, I must have been we started in your backyard. I must have been in there dozens of times.
Yeah, that's a trip. Cool. Nice to see you, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
I think on that note, we'll have one question, Allison, and then that's it, all right?
Okay, thanks for coming back, Jonathan.
Yes, that's great, Jonathan. He's an old character. He used to live in the Mission in San Francisco. He used to come to the dry dock ones. The beginning of Zen Bitch Slap.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess I started my awakening or whatever from a drug-induced psychosis, and I'm just it really messed with my perception of reality, and so now, like, realizing all this stuff, I'm terrified of, like, stopping pretending to be who I'm not, or stopping this role that I've been playing my whole life. Because I'm raised in a very Catholic household, and talking about anything that's really going on or anything like this has put me in the psych ward a few times. So I'm just kind of wondering if you have any tips on, like, overcoming the fear of kind of confronting.
You remember you never started doing any of that you think you're afraid of stopping.
Can you
never had
elaborate?
anything to do with it. That's just an overactive mental condition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so see, that's where it loves to start with, I've got to stop. Because then there's an assumption it's the one that started and is doing it. Yeah, this is the little trick of selfing. So
just keep watching it.
It's exactly, and it's fear. That's not your fear. It's fear. Yeah, it's not afraid of stopping. It's afraid that it never started, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah? It's like the thief wears the police uniform, everything. Yeah, you'll just recognize it. You'll see it. So, yeah, it's scared shit, but that's not of you. So,
okay.
if you can hold, if it gets too much, there's ways, skillful means. But if you can just sort of, I'm gonna blow. It's just a little, it fizzles out. Really. So there's no big blowing. Yeah.
Okay.
It lives off of your belief and your, not your, but the belief and faith of what you are. Yeah.
And I've been feeding it, or
what? Well, no, it feeds it. It basically says it's already been fed. Yeah.
Okay.
The claiming is a trip because it's using what's arising now to claim, but how it's presented is you've been there all along. So it uses time to really produce a wallop. So when you feel like you're the doer, you feel like the historical doer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, like I've been doing all, it's just amazing. It's not real, see? And if you can see it, and a lot of people can, then you got to realize it's not yours. Yeah, because if it was yours, it'd be unique and special, and it ain't. It's like mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
So you recognize to be, you know, because you're not of the machinery, you can recognize the machinery. Seriously, if that which is talking about recognizing machinery is claiming what's really seeing the machinery and saying, oh, I'm the one who's seeing, I'm learning so much about myself. No. That's the system trying to, you know, have knowledge of the system. It's just more shit, you know. Yep.
It's really insane.
What?
It's really insane. It's
It's even in the biggest area, its nature, its traits are like a rat. Yeah, it's in a very small little thing. It's running around. Yeah, yeah, but you're not that, honey. And this is find communities that can be, you know, where you can find some places to have an outlet where you won't be incarcerated or put into an asylum for sharing.
okay.
A square is pretty safe. We're not gonna hear a siren, and I called up the authorities. You know? So yeah, find some, you know, find outlets, not just your family. You know, there's plenty
That's
of
what
people.
I'm doing.
And yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Thanks. I think that's it for me today.
Thanks very much, Allison. I think
I'm gonna
James
say
just
hello
said bye, maybe.
Fritz is there. I see my friend. He's now dream talking. Nick, yeah, Oklahoma. Very nice to see you, Howard. You're probably you're in a very lonely outpost in Oklahoma, I think. You're like I must have sent you as a missionary and I forgot you. The Zen missionary.
The checks are still coming in.
Good to see you, Howard. Fritz, everybody, Allison, take care. Yeah, my friend from Wednesday night, lovely gay girl here. I have trouble with your first name, Macaulay, though. I know your last name. I know your last name. All these characters over here, Luca. Just say, everybody, thank you so much for this opportunity. I have I joke around a lot, but I have a great honoring of it. And yeah, take care. Let's take care of ourselves and each other. Roxanne, stay beautiful as ever. And Mike, thanks for doing everything. And Barbara, Roman, we'll be coming to Germany sooner or later when this thing clears up. Yes, hopefully. All right, and my friend here, Sarah, always looking very comfortable. Mike is, yeah, he's almost at the point of nirvana. Just needs to close one more eyelid. He's there. And Stephen, take it easy, my friend. You're doing wonderful. And Glenda from Ireland, nice to see you. See you, everybody. Bennett, Maria, see you, everybody. Randy from Asheville. You're the partner of Jill. Yeah, say hello. Jane up there. Jane, white on white on white on white. Yeah, it's pretty good. Edda and Rich, my handlers from London. And yes, thank you for everything. See you guys. I'm gonna jump back. I think that I don't know if Mike's gonna continue it, but I'm gonna.
I can leave it open for a bit.
All right, Mike can, if you want to just hang out, but I'm gonna take off for a while. I got to eat something.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey,
See
Rich.
you. Gotcha. I don't know. If I go out, does it shut off or no?
I think since I'm co-host, it won't, because I think we've done it before.
All right. See you, brother. Thanks again, Mike.
Sure.
Bye, Paul.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Bye.
Hey, please donate if you possibly can. Yeah. My lavish lifestyle needs a little polishing. Thank you.
There's a donating tab on the website if you ever want to.
Yeah. See you, bro. I'll see you soon. What? See you, Donna. How did I just say
Bye.
bye-bye, Dee?
Hey, Richard, nice background.
All right.
Is that at home? Or is that a virtual?
It's home. It's at home.